What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another vlog.
Hello, everybody.
I hope everyone is staying safe. We know we're all stuck at home right now. It's a very interesting time.
It's a very interesting time. Given that we are all at home, or the majority of us are at home, we thought it would be interesting to give ourselves a little bit of a challenge, you know? Yeah. In this video, you would have seen that we talked about, hey, this is the time while you're at home to be a content creation machine. So who would we be if we didn't practice what we preach?
Big facts.
So we have challenged ourselves to vlog daily for the next 7 days.
I'm scared. Are you scared?
I'm pretty scared.
Yeah.
Because now that we said it, you have to do it. Like, there's no option now. Like, we have no choice. We have to do it. So it's going to be interesting because we've never done anything like this before.
Yeah.
But you know, like, this is the time. I think there's a lot of valuable information that we can share by kind of giving you some insight into what day-to-day life looks like for us, being that we manage several businesses, manage clients, so we manage social media for a few clients.
Yep. And it's going to be like, it's not just going to be like, hey, here's us eating dinner and stuff.
We're not family vlogging or we don't have children. We're not family vlogging, we're not couple vlogging of like us doing nothing, you know?
No, exactly. The whole point, as Tiff said, we want to give you guys something that you can actually use, or hopefully would inspire some sort of action, so that it's actual, you know, useful information. That's really what we're trying to do here. So we're still going to do our other type of videos, our instructional ones and Instagram ones, stuff like that, but just for the next 7 days, we figured let's try something a bit different.
This is actually good because we're doing it in real time in a way.
Yeah.
Now if you have like a specific question you want answered or something you want us to feature, because we're just going to kind of take it as we go.
Yeah.
Tell us now, because then that could be featured in the next video. It could be a question that we answer. So definitely comment below and let us know if there's anything that you want us to cover.
Yes. So today's Saturday. I don't know what date it is. Saturday, 21st of March.
Yeah.
And this will come out on the Sunday, so you guys will be seeing it one day removed.
Yeah.
So that said, it is Saturday, but honestly for us,
they're all the same.
This situation or not, every day is kind of the same, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
What's on the agenda today?
So I will be doing a lot of blog management today. I'm just checking my Asana.
Yeah, bring up those.
So I'm editing and scheduling pending blog posts. If you guys want to know what Asana is, we broke that down in this video, and maybe one day we'll go in a bit more like in depth.
Yeah.
But basically it's a task management tool. So my weekend tasks are to edit and schedule all the pending blog posts that Craig has done.
Yes.
Because he writes everything, and then I do the creative side and the publishing.
Make it pretty.
And then so I'll be scheduling those out, filming this, and then editing this. So I'm basically, I think we're gonna have like a cutoff time. We're gonna have to test the flow of this.
Yeah.
But maybe we always cut off by like 8 p.m. or something, so that way it gives enough time to edit.
Latest.
Maybe 6 p.m.
Yeah, I was thinking 6.
Probably 6 p.m. the latest. So it gives me enough time to edit. And yeah, I'm actually gonna also today perhaps, or tomorrow, probably today, start selecting YouTube videos that we're gonna cut down and put into IGTV.
Ooh, we should talk about that later.
So we'll talk more about that later. Yeah.
That's a really good one. For me, I'm got some client posts to push out. We had a launch yesterday for a client, so they've got 2 accounts that we manage, so I'm going to be pushing out some posts from the other account and just keep sharing things from the original one on stories and stuff. So one fun thing that we're going to also talk about later, today we have 3 separate Instagram lives we're going on with clients. One is a past client. We're going to put the video up here, the ones that we got them $100,000 on crowdfunding. So they are going live today. We're jumping in. They're doing like a bottle share. They're setting up a brewery, and we're going to go live with them. We have another client who's also a brewery, and we're doing that right after with him. And then we've started our own initiative for our own craft beer podcast, where we are doing interviews with, I was going to say brewers, but just people in the beer industry. We want to talk about how all of this is affecting them, what they're doing about it, and how the community can help. So we did our first one last night. We're doing another one tonight, and I've been talking to a whole bunch of people. So over the next couple of weeks at the very least, I got a whole bunch of interviews sort of set up, and just go live and just sort of crack a beer and talk about it and get the community involved. So lots of lives coming up.
Yeah, and we'll go into like why we think you should be doing live as well.
Yes. So with all that, I'm hungry. I want to eat. So we're going to go eat, and we'll check in soon.
All right.
Need to be seen. You always need to fly.
So what's going on with Pathos here?
Okay, so Pothy's not doing too well.
Should we explain the naming conventions of our plants?
Okay, so the naming conventions of the plants
are very lazy.
Whenever they're... Hey, it's not lazy. It's just... Okay, yeah.
It's lazy.
Kind of lazy.
I was going to say basic, but it's lazy.
So this one actually, it is a pothos plant, so we just kind of threw a Y on there. Is or was?
I don't want to say was. Come on,
is
bro.
a pothos
in you.
plant, and we just threw a Y on there and named him Pothy. It feels kind of like Greek style type thing,
Yep.
you know? So unfortunately, he's not doing too hot. We mentioned him in the last video, and then somebody said we basically probably watered him to death because we allowed him to kind of sit in water. But I took the water out that was kind of in the bottom there, and now there's nothing there. But like, I don't know, he's not looking too hot. So I think what I'm going to try to do is go on YouTube, because look at a YouTube, just a resource for everything. I'm going to go on YouTube and try to see if I can propagate him. So like save some of the guys who are looking the best and like put it in water or another thing of dirt and see if like we could save some and then bring them all back to life later.
We had someone comment, didn't we?
Yeah, he said that we put too much water.
Okay, so if anyone has any thoughts on what else we can do to save this young, beautiful plant, I don't know if it's too far. Is it too far gone, guys? I don't know.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think. Any plant gurus?
So now we are in. We've had breakfast.
We have?
So now I am working on the blog. So as I mentioned, we do have a blog. Most people probably don't even know that.
Probably not, yeah.
But yeah, we do have a blog because blogging still matters. So we make sure to keep up with that. And I am in charge of the styling and then distributing of the content. So basically that means I'm creating the graphics for everything. As you can see here, I'm actually using, we did talk about this in a video. It's called Canva. Love Canva. So it's so easy. Look at it. It's a drag and drop. We usually get the images from Unsplash. So you see like I'm looking through stuff in Unsplash here. But we dropped that image in. That was from our old, everything's set up. It's easy. It's templated. It's all about efficiency, guys, right? We want to keep things efficient as possible. You don't want to keep redoing the same thing over and over again. As many ways you can streamline and make things efficient is how you will continue to succeed, right? So you can get to work on the next thing. So Canva's great because it's so like templated. Once you have everything set up, it's just plug and play. So I'm just going to pop the photo in there, change the title. I don't know if you want to tell the people why blogging is so important, being the person who worked in SEO for like forever. Here, let me turn it on you.
Yeah, so blogging, it's kind of like, it almost feels like what's the point in 2020, being that everyone's on social or you're on YouTube or something like that. But for SEO, search engine optimization, it's something that kind of gets like, oh, someone's calling me now. So search engine optimization is something that kind of gets like lumped in with social a lot, and it's very, very separate. So it's something that's still important, but it's changed so much. I worked in it like full time maybe 12 years ago, and it was great. Basically, it's whatever Google feeds you based on what you type in. The problem is, though, now that because everything's so individualized that all, you know, maybe your Google results are going to be different to mine. At the same token, our website needs to be able to come up in Google for us to be able to generate new leads and new clients. So hopefully we're ranking for the main keywords that are in our main blocks of text, but then the blogs is where different people come in because they're going to be like, how do I do this on Instagram or whatever, on all those different things that draws in.
Think about one of our first like major clients or like longest running clients came from a blog post.
They did?
We got many inquiries, but like that main blog post, I'll put a screenshot here or something. But yeah, that blog post was the one that like brought in that money. So yeah.
When people reach out to us, it's like, oh, how did you find us?
Yeah.
It's curious for us. We want to be like, all right, where, you know, maybe if everyone's coming from one channel, then like, all right, we need to double down.
Yeah.
So initially, before YouTube, we're getting a lot more inquiries now from YouTube and from Instagram primarily. Yeah. But we still get a bunch from SEO, just from people searching. So from the post, or they'll just put like social media agency Toronto, social media agency Montreal, or something like that. And we usually come up in that. I still think we have a lot of work to do in that. Yeah, we don't do it as much as we should. Like, I think that's something like we would probably try to onboard, like hire somebody to help us with that. Set, to be honest, and this is kind of what I mean, I worked in it 12, 13 years ago. I was decent at it then because the job I was at sent me to conferences and stuff to learn about it. But in the meantime, what we can do is create blog content. When we first started the YouTube channel, what we did was make videos for our old blog posts. And that was one way to give us some content for YouTube when we were first kind of figuring out and, you know, wanting to decide what we were going to do. Now it's the opposite. So now we write, I think we mentioned this on another video, didn't we?
Yeah, I feel like we have a video
the last vlog we did from home. Yeah,
in our productivity, how to be productive from home vlog. Yes.
It's like a script for the video, but it's not script. And what I would do is we'll write that out. Typically I do it. Sometimes you do it as well though. And then we use that to, you know, summarize or give us some sort of guidance on what to say for the video so that they are on point. We've tried to wing it before and it's not. Yeah. You know, our first batch was just terrible. It was rough. But now we also use like YouTube insights and like keywords and things like that to kind of drive the way that I just realized I was like, I'm just talking up behind you. Now we use YouTube keywords to drive the way that we create videos. And then that also is the same keyword that comes from Google keywords
that also drives what our blog content looks like.
Right.
So right now, this blog post that you're going to see that's going to go up, it's not only going to be a blog post, it's also going to be a YouTube video. You can actually look right here. In the actual blog post, there's a YouTube video right there. So that YouTube video is what we used. Craig then writes this entire script out for us, and then that is also going to be an Instagram post. When we take one piece of content, it's never that one piece of content that goes into the ether and that's just it. It's a piece of content that can be a blog post, it can be a video, it can be an Instagram story series, it can be an Instagram in-feed post, it could be an IGTV that takes you to the YouTube video. Like, there's so many ways that you can stretch out and exercise content, like really put it to work.
So the message here is think about how, and Tiff also said for the blog post as well, think about how you can repurpose your content in any of the different channels that you're on. How can you do that? What makes sense for you? It's when you get a bit creative with it, it's pretty cool, and it's worked for us when we've been able to have the time to invest in it properly. And we have, of course, everyone has a bit more time right now. We're just not messing around and going right into it. So
Catch you on the other side.
get some coffee. All right, so we've done a bit of work, we've had our breakfast, and we going live with the first client in about an hour, a little less.
Yeah.
So we got ourselves a coffee. Again, cups straight from Australia. Mum gave me these are pretty fire.
I love these cups.
All right, so now we want to go through a few reasons why you should go live. Now, the somewhat mild irony here is maybe a year or two ago, we did a blog post.
Yeah.
That was why you shouldn't go live. Now, that was in response to a slew of terrible lives that we were seeing. This was kind of when it first came out.
Yeah.
Businesses weren't really going live. It was just people, and it was like
Doing
when the
nothing.
notifications, and it was just like, hey guys, what's going on? Like, stop. It was so annoying. So we wanted people to think about going live a little bit more critically before just randomly going it. Now, with this new situation, like we were just saying earlier, like you look at the top of your Instagram where the stories are, it's just all live.
Yeah,
right
everybody's
now.
going live.
Mostly, and I would say arguably 80-90% are more than one person.
Yeah.
So people are connecting with other people via Instagram lives and kind of publicly sharing their conversation. It's become more of a thing than it's ever been.
Because of what we are in right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, in light of that, essentially we all need to be thinking about, should we go live? And the answer is yes.
In addition to now being the best time to go live just because everybody's at home, they're all on their phones and they want to connect, so like that is the number one reason.
Yeah.
Another reason to go live outside of everything that's happening right now is because live always gets priority. Live always gets priority in the feed. If you notice, and this shows you, whenever Instagram likes something, you gotta pay attention to it, right? So whenever anyone goes live on Instagram, you immediately notice that you get these notifications. When you're in the app, they come up at the top. Sometimes they get pushed to your phone even when you're not in the app. And then they also go to the top of the Instagram stories feed. So they get prioritized and pushed to the top. So that just shows Instagram's like, hey, pay attention to this. We want you to pay attention to this. So it's a really great opportunity to get immediate attention. Whatever Instagram loves, you lean into because they'll support you for doing so.
Large fact. So another reason to go live, it allows you to humanize your brand. So one thing that people love is other people. So brands aren't people, brands are things, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, entities.
Entities, that's the word
Yeah.
I'm looking for. So now it's time to put a face behind the brand.
Yeah.
Now, this is a little tougher for larger corporations. You'd probably have to have a spokesperson or something like
Yeah.
that. But the vast majority of you guys, I would imagine, are smaller brands, small to medium-sized businesses, possibly independent, that have complete control over this sort of thing. So one of the clients we're going live with in like an hour and a bit, we were talking the other day, we had a consultation, we were like, it's time for you to really make your face the face of the business.
Yeah. Especially now because people invest in people. And
Yeah.
now during everything that's going on and people either saving their money or just not knowing because everybody's in a bit of a struggle, so they want to know who to give their money to. If you're the person that they get to see and see where their money's going, it's going to be so much more valuable right now.
People buy into it way quicker.
Yeah.
And at this time, this is what people want. If they're going to be putting their money anywhere, it's going to be to another human that they believe in,
Yeah.
and that they trust, and that they want to have their money.
Yeah. Another reason why you should consider going live is because it allows you to build relationships.
Yes.
Why Instagram Live is so great, it's like instant gratification for your followers, right? Because now you're there, it's not this curated post that's going in your feed and they're commenting and you get to reply when you feel like it. This is like live connections that you get to build with them.
Yeah.
So when you're live, we're gonna kind of go into that next, but when you're live, use this opportunity to talk directly to them and engage. But we always talk about community, it's called social media. The number one one thing is to be social, and this is a media format that is at peak social, right?
Facts.
Yeah.
And these are often, it could be with people who are already been commenting a lot, and now you actually get to talk to them. And in a business such as craft beer, which is the example of the client that I'm referring to, people seem to just love the owner or the brewer. They always get off on like, yeah, I was talking to the brewer, and it's almost like they feel valued and important for doing that.
Yeah.
So give them that. Make people feel good about themselves. Give them that, you know, that FaceTime, that one-to-one chat, and bringing them on live. There's almost no other better way.
Yeah. Now, we're telling you to go live, but you really need to make sure that you go live the right way. As we said, the reason why back in the day we're like, don't go live, or don't go live for these amount of reasons, because we were just jumping on without anything. They're just jumping in, and then they're not successful, nobody's watching, it's all a disaster. So the way that you want to go live, first and foremost, is practice. Remember, practice makes perfect. So, like me, I don't really appreciate being live. Really, it's not my thing. I'll be honest here, I'm telling you, but I'm with you here, and not immediately want to jump in there. There's a lot of like fear around it for that reason, I think, because you kind of put yourself on the spot there and you're like thrown to the wolves. But if you're set up well, it's fine. So I would say practice first. You can practice with Instagram stories. It's a great way to practice. You can practice with like vlogging is something that made me more comfortable speaking to an audience, because now I'm actually speaking to somebody. However, it is edited, so I can edit the things I don't like out.
Right.
But, you know, I'm communicating with you here. We're talking here, you know? You can also film videos and have those videos be in feed, which just gets you into the habit of, like, talking to somebody. Not just, like, writing and having a static image, but getting natural and feeling good talking to the camera. So it's weird.
You gotta practice.
You've had a lot of experience in it for a while.
Still is weird. And even getting adjusted from the beer stuff, which I did more.
Yeah.
Like music stuff to the beer stuff to then high season. And then I hadn't done a lot of beer stuff for a bit. So then going back to the beer stuff, I've started behaving more like high season in the beer thing. It's like a strange thing in my head, but constant practice has made me more comfortable in various circumstances.
Yeah. So there you go. Practice makes perfect.
Also, the best way to run a live is to plan ahead. Don't just go on live with absolutely nothing to say and no talking points and no plan at all. It's disaster. It is not what you want. It's exactly why we wrote that original blog post. The two different lives we're about to go into, they already sent us, the first one sent us a bunch of questions. It's only 3 because it's only a quick live. And then the second live, we already spoke about what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So we pre-planned it with the guest. So if you are doing a live and you're bringing someone else in, pre-plan it. Or if you're doing a random thing where you're letting people just dial in, like some of the customers, followers, whatever, then at least have a couple questions, or at least have a theme.
Yeah.
A theme at the very least that you can riff on, because
exactly.
there's 2 of us here, we can talk.
Yeah.
But if you're by yourself, that's when it's tough. That's what I had to do last night. I got to do that later tonight.
The next thing you also want to think about when you are planning your Instagram live is where you're going to film.
Good point.
So you don't want to just like jump on. You have to think about a setup here. So what's your setup going to look like? Lives can go for a pretty lengthy amount of time, depending.
Yeah.
Do you have a place where your phone is going to sit up nicely and be ready to go?
We don't.
You know, we don't. So like Craig has some makeshift book thing going on, but at least you set it up before you go live. You're not going to figure it out afterwards.
As you were talking about, I'm like, how am I going to do this live? And right now it's earlier than we did it last night.
The other live is going to be easy because it's only 5 minutes.
Yeah, we can do it right here.
Yeah.
And it's also bright enough that look, the daylight, we actually use our full studio lights that we use for our filming
if
for
it's in the
lives.
evening, yeah.
And I've got a phone leaning against a glass of water on top of a stack of books, which is not optimal. So we're going to buy a thing. Now that live has become more of a part of what we're doing, we're going to have to buy a stand. So think about that.
Yeah, and also make sure, for example, that you do have lights if things are dark. Natural light rules over everything else. So if you can, if it's in the middle of the day or somewhere where it's light outside, make sure you face a window, because there's nothing that beats natural light. So definitely think about what your setup's going to look like, so you're not struggling once you've gone live and you're like, the light's not good, my background looks ugly, like there's a bunch of things happening, and it'll just throw you off.
Yep. Another thing you can do is to start slow, so you don't have to feel pressured to do a full 1 hour live session. Do like a 5-minute session with like
baby steps.
Yeah. Broadcast a message. You know, maybe just something nice like, hey guys, you know, I hope everyone's safe. Just want to really put that out there. Make sure everyone's good, and let people know what you're doing for your business. You're closing this down, you're doing delivery, you're doing this, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Do it step by step. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, and really just ease into it.
Yeah, definitely consider having someone jump in with you if you feel uncomfortable. That's a really good way to get around it, because you can do co-hosting where they co-host with you, or you can just do interview style where you prepared a bunch of questions and ask them. The other thing you want to do now is make sure you promote your live, okay? So don't just go live randomly. If you can, you really want to make sure that you have attendance. is to promote your live. So go on Instagram stories, make sure you can create a graphic. You can do that in Canva like I talked about earlier. We've created a live for the series of videos that we're doing on live for our craft beer podcast. So definitely create something, get some buzz around. You can also use the countdown timer. We talked about these like cool features that Instagram stories has in our video about Instagram stories features that you might not be using. So definitely take advantage of those.
Another way you can make your live perform at its peak is to go live when your audience is online. So you can check that by checking your insights. I don't know if we've run out of cards, but we have a video here or down there, we probably have, that explains how to use your insights and why they're important. You can check your insights and you can find out when the best time for you to go live is based on when your audience is online, and just stick to that. And the best part, when you save it to your stories at the end, people can also continue to watch it.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely make sure to save it. And when you're in that live and you've made sure that everyone's online there and you're on at a good time, talk to the people. So don't make it like a monologue where you're just like you had a plan, you're like, I'm just gonna go on script and not gonna let anything deviate from the script. Talk to the people. That's what keeps them in the live. That's the plug. Because now they're like, oh, now this person saw me. I can't log out now because they know I'm here. So like, you know, say like, hey, so-and-so, see you. Hey, John, what's going on? Hey, Crystal, happy to have you here. Because then Crystal and John are like, damn it, I can't leave. And then they keep your live number.
Pressure.
Yeah, pressure.
That's true. And people just like it. I think people really enjoy it when, you know, regardless of how big your account is, like, you know, if someone who's got 1 million followers shouting me out, it's a big deal. But even if it's someone with 100 followers and shout someone out,
people like to hear their name.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just, you know, you treat it like you're just having a convo with other human beings. Pretend you're not on a phone.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we are going to cut to the montage now of us doing all our lives, and then we will see you back here.
You always leave. You never tell me where. You need the wind, the wind. It always takes you there.
How great were those lives, am I right?
Gorgeous. Hope you tuned in. Probably didn't.
Guys, thank you so much for coming back to another video and for staying all the way to the end of our first day of, what are we gonna call it? Work from home challenge?
Yeah, like a 7-day vlog from home challenge or something.
Yeah, I have to fit it into 100 keywords.
We'll figure it out and you'll see.
But it's going to be like work from home challenge. But thanks so much for coming back to watch another video and joining us in this challenge.
That's it.
That's it. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. Follow us everywhere on social media at High Season Co. You can check out our blog post at highseasonco.com. And until next time, guys.
Peace.
Oh, see you tomorrow.
Oh, see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Peace.